Alright, what is up, everyone? Me and Al just watched Godzilla. What is it, Monster Planet Al? No. Planet of the Monsters.
That's much better.
Indeed. So, Al, how about you introduce yourselves today? Or yourself, not yourselves. Jeez.
Well, you might know who I am. My name is Alistair. I'm the co-creator of DangerVille, and we are the Danger Bros. So, hello, everyone. Hello, viewers. Especially you. You're really cool. Hello. How's it going?
Alright, Al, so with Godzilla Monster Planet, or Planet of the Monsters, whatever you want to call it, how did you really think going into the film? How did you think it was going to play out with everything you heard going on?
I was questioning it. Like, I wasn't too faithful in it because from the initial screens, it looked very artificial. Because obviously, anime is like a 2D thing. And when you bring 3D into it, it sometimes can be it feels a bit cheap. But obviously, I was ambitious because it's Godzilla, and I love Godzilla no matter what. But yeah, I was teetering on the questionable, but yet excited.
Kind of like on the top of the fence, didn't really know what to think about it. Yeah, and that's kind of where I was at with that. And so the film really had me confused at first, but as soon as we won't get into spoilers too much at this part of the film, but the very first part of the film, to where, let's just say, you see what happens in the past, because this movie takes place 20,000 years in the future. You see why they left, and that scene is awesome and could very well be like the best overall film part of the entire movie. What do you think, Al?
One of two, yes. It was definitely, because we got to see Orga, we got to see Kamakuras, we got to see, there was like a tentacle monster, I can't remember its name, but it appeared in like another series from Godzilla. But it was pretty cool to see them, even if it was just like a little flash. But it was like, oh, holy shit! It's like a nice little homage to some of the older monsters. But it was harrowing. Like it made Godzilla. It's very similar to Shin Godzilla in that respect, because Shin Godzilla is just like a heaping mass of destruction that very slowly walks. And the scene where you just see Godzilla like approach this like space station, and you just see it slowly come towards, and everyone else is like crying and running, and it's scary. It is really well done.
Yeah, that whole scene just really, it showcased fear and just the feeling of straight up doom, like at its finest. It was like, crap, Godzilla is here, and there's nothing we can do other than hopefully not be the ones that he's targeting. And that kind of played throughout the whole movie, because this new Godzilla is unlike any other as in the past. And that's even with, Godzilla's had a pretty dramatic history of being a royal badass. Like, he doesn't stop really, but occasionally he'll at least kind of, act like he's getting hurt or like something's going on. This Godzilla, he really was a giant walking mountain of death. And that's what Godzilla, I mean, that's what we knew he was going to be. So what do you think about that?
I like his design. It's unique, but like from certain areas, he's kind of got like a derpy face. It's just very strange. Like he's got very much a puppy dog face, which
he
like when he has these eyes on like this very sharp, snouty design, and then he looks forward, and it's like, duh. But and then he breathes atomic breath, and you're still like, fucking shit. I forgot about that.
But I guess that kind of makes sense that he is an animal, and the humans, they ended up doing their thing, and of course they were fighting Godzilla for a large segment of the film. And this was something that was interesting, because like, without getting too spoiler, like getting into it a little bit, the humans pretty much acted like bees to Godzilla, even more than they ever had, primarily because of the little speeder bikes that we've seen in the trailers and everything. So they were just flying around in waves, just like peppering Godzilla with all these rounds, but like nothing happened. So it was interesting for sure.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get into the spoilers. So, what did you think about the way the film kind of just carried out? Because this isn't, especially on Netflix, Netflix says it's a part one. It's not a final film. not even in the sense that Star Wars Episode 4 was a final film, because that was a full film of a trilogy. This is part one of a trilogy, so it's kind of just in a short act of the three films. So you got to kind of get that into your head. It's not complete. It's not a final film. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and that totally makes sense. You were comparing it to Star Wars. I think I'm going to compare it more of towards the Hobbit films, to where it was like one story that was broke off into three separate things. So it's like in that sort of format. So this first film is obviously ending on a pretty massive, and I mean massive in the most literal sense of a, what is it called, a cliffhanger. So like, there's going to be more movies, so like if you go into watching this, for sure it's set up really it's set up a lot towards what's going to happen, and that's something that's, that's big in the industry right now, to where how can we set up what's coming next. But you just got to know that this is supposed to be like this, and it's all the continuation of one story. So in the end, we only have to wait like a handful of months to see the next one.
I mean, Toho was really good at just going fucking Godzilla movie. They did it back in 1955. They're just really good at kicking out these Godzilla movies. But the reason they're doing these animated movies is because Legendary's basically stopped them from making any live-action movies. So, whatever. I actually really liked the characters. I really liked Haruo. I thought he was probably one of the strongest characters in the franchise, actually. Because most characters in Godzilla films, you don't remember. They never have like a unique thing outside maybe Bryan Cranston's character.
You never remember their name.
No, but Haruo, which I think the reason they called him Haruo is because obviously Haruo Nakajima recently died. I reckon they probably called him Haruo as like a little homage, because like that would be nice. Like they've made him the main character of a Godzilla film. Like that'd be a nice little thing. But
there you go. He's been Godzilla this whole time. So.
Exactly. He's now facing off against himself. But really, Haruo, because he's like a passionate rogue, and I like that about him. He reminds me a little bit of Poe Dameron from the recent Star Wars films. How yeah. So he's very much act now. He's very instinctive towards his actions, which leads to certain,
with a character and sort of scenario like this, you kind of have to be an instinctual kind of badass, and that's really what kind of happened in this, is that he took over and he just cut out all the BS and pretty much made the human characters like not worry about fear.
Yeah,
all that
he had
much.
A nice little speech. Remind me a bit of
He had a damn nice speech.
Rim.
I was like, it was very Pacific Rim-y. There was a lot of Pacific Rims where there was mechs in this,
the mechs
and
a
bunch of like robotic futuristic weapons. So that was pretty cool too. Alright, so of course the movie climaxed with pretty much 2 scenes, and they all happened within about, 10 minutes? First off, this was one of the first times we ever seen a Godzilla get fucking blown up. It was like, he splintered. Yeah, like, they've been wanting to blow him up forever, and he went ba-boom, and it was kind of crazy to see a Godzilla actually defeated for once.
Only for it to be suddenly dwarfed by a Godzilla that's 3 times bigger. Which was a fucking awesome scene. That was an incredible scene. Like, I thought, like, because obviously the Godzilla featured throughout the entire film is not the Godzilla they try to get you hyped about. Which is a shame, because you think that the film's going to be about this massive Godzilla, when really it's about the smaller Godzilla, like the normal Godzilla. But then, at the end, once they defeat Godzilla, you think they've won, and you're almost like, maybe they did, but then, earthquake, and then you just see like this tail rise, and it's just smoke everywhere, and it's ridiculous. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that had to be one of the greatest entrances of literal all fucking time. It was like Godzilla just coming out. It rocked. Yeah. That's pretty much exactly how it was. And that's kind of... It was a good way to end the movie, because they're like, yeah, we did it. Nah, you didn't. you're 10 times, 100 times more screwed than ever.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the act structure of like a singular film, you obviously have the first act, which is like the introduction, then you have the second act, which is meant to be the darkest point. And when you have something like Godzilla, obviously they left it off as an introduction to the second part, which is going to be their darkest, lowest point. Like, I have no idea what they're going to do, really. Obviously, you've got the leaks about them using Mechagodzilla, but if Mechagodzilla was built to fight the smaller Godzilla, then do they have several Mechagodzillas? Are they going to use the Mechagodzillas and the other monsters against Godzilla?
Yeah, like that has to be it, because there's like barely anybody left, and like they were pretty much already saying how they're out of freaking resources. So how they're going to combat this, we do not know. I guess we're just gonna have to wait until 5 or 6 months when the Act 2 comes out. So we'll just have to wait till then. But in conclusion here, Al, what do you think of this first act of Godzilla Planet of the Monsters? How do you rate it?
I can see why some people might be disappointed. Like, it's not a traditional Godzilla film. It kind of incorporates elements from every Godzilla film. It has like the monsters. It has like aliens, but they're like humanoid aliens, and they like live together with the humans, which is very strange. But like, I guess that's the thing. They just kind of glanced over that a little bit, but like I'd give it a solid like 7.5 out of 10. Like, I'm looking forward to the next part of the film series thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think like I feel like that's a solid rating for this. It's about a 7.5. What I really want to see is when all three of these movies kind of come together, how that total product will end up being. So we'll just have to wait. Alright, Al, so we went over this, and now we are done. So, until the next act of Godzilla Planet of the Monsters comes out, we just gotta sit back and chill. So, we'll be making more videos on this as we go on and as time goes by, but for right now, I think we're gonna head on out. So, Al, if you want to say any last words, go on at it.
Can I just say, thank you for helping us get to nearly 13,000 subscribers. Like, this has just come out of nowhere. like my videos recently got over 500,000 views, and I'm just like, thank you. Like wow. Like I never expected that. So thank you for being a fan of the channel, and be sure to subscribe for more from us at DangerVille. And we will see you very soon.
We'll see you next time, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.